Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another week. It is Monday morning. I didn't want to get up at all. I could have done with another day of weekend this week. Thank you for watching. If you have been keeping up with my vlogs so far, this is now the 6th one in a row. If you're not familiar, I am Jess and I run Jess Effects. I make silicone prosthetics and moulds for makeup artists in the film and TV industry. And I have a shop online, I have some stockists, and I work out of my home workshop. This week will be more of the same, I think. I've got a bunch of orders that came in over the weekend that I need to bash out today, and then we'll see where we go from there. I'll show you the board now. That's what we're looking at. It would be lovely if I could get that all out today so that this board's reset. Obviously, I am still working on wholesale. I have a bunch I need to tick off that I finished at the end of Friday for this Titanic order. You can see some are crossed off at least, and some have started, so it shouldn't take me too long to get those out. Should start the moulds today as well. And yes, then I can get on to Titanic. These are ones that were left in the mould. They were finished off Friday last thing before I stopped working, so I can start the week by taking some out and feeling very accomplished for getting these prosthetics done, even though I actually did them on Friday. It's a bunch of old age. Got hands, cheeks, a neck, and then some little cuts and sutures and some gouged eyes. These are the 8 individual mosquito bites that I told you about in last week's vlog. So I'm now that I've got them done, I'm running the full set of all of them so that I can trim them and fill them and apply them, and then that means they'll be available in the shop. Sorry if I haven't shown too much today. I busted through those orders. It is 2:20 now and I have finished all my orders. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. I'm going to go to the post office early so that I can come back and be working on my wholesale orders until I need to start trimming everything and packaging everything, so it's not just a huge load to do in a rush at the end. It'll be good to get ahead on that and put a couple more runs in. But yeah, this week might be a little bit patchy. I don't know how much I'll have to show, but I may see you later today. I may see you tomorrow. That's the parcels going out. I don't want to go too high. You'll see the addresses, but there's 9 parcels ready to go. Me and the dog are going to walk to the post office and do that now. Good morning. It's Tuesday and it is not a post day, which I always really like because I don't have something to interrupt my flow in the afternoon. However, saying that, I'm going to do things a bit different today. I'm going to get my first run on the go, get my silicone in, and then I'm going to go do a food shop so that I don't have to do it at the end of the day, like during rush hour and school letting out and all that. I'm just going to slide things along and then I'm going to come back and work for the rest of the day. Hopefully I will get round to filling the mosquito moss today so I can show you that. This is what came in overnight. Not too bad. Just a few items, and like I said, I'm not going to post office today, so these only have to go out tomorrow. I'll probably try and do them today anyway, just so if more come in overnight, I can be doing those tomorrow. And this is how the wholesale is looking. So I've crossed off quite a few now. We've got the starter kits and old eyes, another gouge, a couple of cut sutures, the radiation, 1 more old hands, and 2 swollen shut. And of all of these, apart from gouge and cuts and sutures, which are nearly done, I have that many moulds, I think, so it should be quick. I haven't done many of the moulds. I will put a few more of them. I might have some to demould actually from last night, so I'm probably one ahead of how that looks. Yeah, so that's going pretty quickly, and hopefully I can have it done and on its way at the end of this week. It is toasty in the workshop today. Poured this silicone probably less than 20 minutes ago and it's already cured. These are the ones I just got out. Normally I would leave it for like an hour, but it is so hot. I've mentioned before on here how silicone cures quicker in heat, and said things along the lines of I'm going to heat up the studio to get things out quickly. I often will do that just with like a space heater fan if I've got loads to get done or other time pressures. But yeah, as you saw from the thermometer, I do not need to do that currently. That workshop is my garage, and it gets really cold in the winter, as you'd expect, but it is mad how hot a building like that also gets. Yes, so I did my shopping this morning, and that took longer than expected. And when I came home, I carried on with the wholesale order and realised I was actually could finish it today. So instead of getting to those moulds to fill that I told you I was going to show, I decided to finish the tilt order. So I say finish as in all the products are made now. They haven't been checked, but they're in the process of being cut out. And then as I package them, I'll obviously check the count, make sure I've got everything. And if I'm missing anything, I'll have to go back in and make that. But fingers crossed, it is all there. I mean, I feel like with the moulds, I may even have extra. That tends to happen quite often. I have this thing about forgetting to tick off the moulds for some reason on the board. So yeah, it is 6:15 now, and I'm going to keep working for a bit. I'm meant to be taking the dog out, but it's just too hot. I don't know when I'm going to be able to. Like, she is probably in the garden, lying in the beating sun right now. Yeah, she can't stop her, but yeah, as soon as she's walking around, she'll be trudging, and the concrete may be a little too hot for her little paws. If I am really lucky, I will be able to package this all tomorrow and ship it, but I think that may be wishful thinking a little bit. You've seen in a previous vlog how long it can take to do the packaging, because of all the like pinning every item and then the labelling and things as well. Plus obviously I have to do my regular orders alongside it. I didn't even get round to doing those orders that I said I'd get done today, but that's fine, there isn't too many. So even if more come in overnight, I can hopefully get them all done tomorrow and posted same day. Yes, the weather is certainly helping my speed now. I can bash out a lot of pieces in a day. I'm still waiting to hear back from Titanic about a couple of the pieces, but I could get started on the ones I know about. So as soon as Tilt is out of the workshop, I think I will. So I don't know whether I'll start straight away. I think I'll package it and get it done, and then start on Titanic's order. That might be a bit confusing because they're kind of similar names, but Tilt is the one in West London and Titanic is in Belfast in Northern Ireland. But I'm going to leave you for today. I may show you a little clip of what I've been cutting out here, but then I'll catch you again tomorrow. This is the carnage. This is my pile of moulds. So these are the ones I got left to cut out, and these are the piles, not them at the back there, the mosquito bites. These are the piles of ones I have already cut out and the remnants, and then this is all the pieces, which may not look like a very big pile, but when you think there's stacks of smaller ones in the middle, I don't know if we're not going to be able to find any now. And then there's one run still in the mould in the workshop. So yes, I've got a lot to trim. They're all trimmed, fortunately, but they need pinning, which takes just as long. Morning. I'm gonna get those last pieces out that I mentioned at the end of yesterday's clip, which were the last pieces in the tilt order, and I will put all the orders on the go, and then I think it'll probably be a day in my studio of just cutting and pinning until it is time for the post office. I can only apologise if the version of me you're getting this week is melted. It is so hot. At 9 when I got into my workshop, the thermometer already said 24 degrees. And when I just left now, it was 26 degrees. I've got my big like fan thing on, but it's kind of, it doesn't really do much except to that in the immediate vicinity. It's not like cooling down the whole room or anything. But hey, swings and roundabouts, my silicon's curing quickly. And I must admit, I've been lying to you. I keep saying I've finished the tilt order, and I realise I'm just talking about the prosthetics, like the appliances, not the moulds that you saw me cutting out yesterday. I still actually have maybe half of them to run, actually. I've just put another lot in now. I need to do a recount. I've got a feeling I've ticked them off wrong. And I may have some in those boxes that I store spare Bondo moulds already made up that could go in, but we'll see. So now that all the orders are in, I think maybe one of them has to be done a second time, but everything else is just one. So it will just be packaging. But other than that, I'm dedicating today to trying to get as much of the tilt order packaged up. I'll no doubt add a few clips, some time lapses of preparing the pieces and packaging them up. But then other than that, I will just be back if I think of anything interesting to tell you, or if anything else happens that I want to update you on. Okay, that's the first lot. What was on my desk. And then this is what I have left to trim. That's the second half, maybe a bit less than half. But and then they're all at least in their packets and just need the labels. Those are the orders that have come in, all done. One more has come in since, but I think actually I'm going to do post office tomorrow. I'm just going to do a big push now on this today. And then these are all the prosthetics that I still need to sort out. So yeah, I'm just going to sit here now until I've made some headway. Morning! Oh, it's really bright in here. It's the next day. I'm wearing the same clothes just to confuse you. Had more orders come in. It took much longer than I expected doing the wholesale order last night. I think I said I was gonna bash it all out maybe, but to be honest, it took so long just cutting out the moulds. I did that and I haven't pinned any pieces yet, but I'll continue that today. So I don't know if they will go out today, but I'll try my best. I'm going to stop talking and just get on with it and see how much I can get done today. Just thought I'd show you what I'm doing. So these and the ones in here are those mosquito bites. I'm finally going to make a mould of them. So I've got a master mould. I showed you master molds before, but I will show you the process in the workshop. I'm using this old tray from, I think, a Ferrero Rocher box. That's all on the underside because that's also flat. So I'd sculpted them there in the past. It's got a slight lip. So actually, this is completely flat. Like none of that clay is actually touching the table. So I'm just using the inside, which is completely clean, and I'm laying them out in here, and I'm going to use this as my tray for moulding them in. Pour resin on top, means I'll have a mould. I'm going to add a little bit of Vaseline to the bottoms when I get through to the workshop, just to make sure they stay down while they're moulding. And I may, if it stays in this sort of line, I might glue in a bit of foam core just to make it smaller so I don't waste resin up in this end. But I will show you as I go on. And then after that, I'll be able to fill them and put them in my dehydrator to dry, basically, before I apply them. Right, I hope you can hear me over the fan. This is it done. I'm going to give it a quick wipe to get the Vaseline off the back of the moulds now. Just so it's slightly less gross. And I will use these moulds anyway in a minute to fill. maybe not in a minute, but you know, these are the ones I will use for my own tests and then keep on file. Right, that should be good. So, just going to grab a tool that can pull them out. There we go. So you can see there's some tidying up to do, which I can do either with just a scalpel off the edge or a sander with a little Dremel. You have to be kind of careful because I don't want to scratch the surface of what's in there. But yeah, I'll show you when it's all done, and I want to get a really good picture of it, which I'll explain more about in a minute. Back in the studio, just taking some photos of this, of the whole thing, and then of the 3 different types of moulds. There's the large ones at the top, which are kind of the initial mosquito bites. You know, you get the flat, sort of almost like a rash. You get it raised up. It looks a bit like hives. That's the one. Yeah, so that's like that. Some of them have the little point of entry. Some of them have the little tail from where the poison went. Then the middle are typical mosquito bites that we all know, which are just big bumps. And then the small ones are very small versions of the first kind. Sorry, my focus is going wild. Just so there's optional sizes. It always looks quite trippy when you look into a mould. They look like they're sticking out, don't they? But we're actually looking inside them. Oh, apologies for my face. I'm like slick. It's Thursday, in case I haven't already said. So if you're in the UK, you will know how hot it is today. I quite like the heat, but I'm just perpetually drenched, and it's not as fun enjoying it when you have a dog who can't go out when it's really hot. Not that she's like in any way special, just that dogs in general obviously shouldn't be walked out in this heat. So she spends the afternoons excited because it's time for walkies, desperately running around our ankles, but we can't take her out, and we can't explain why we can't take her out, and it's very sad. But yes, that is well off topic. The reason I want photos of this mould, this is it next to my face, so you can kind of see the size we're working with. But the reason I want this mainly is because quite often I find makeup designers or makeup teams will want a few of a set of my Bondo moulds, and they'll want multiples of just those few rather than the whole set. And I think that's going to happen with the mosquito bites. I suspect, so I'm going to offer them in 3 sets. I'm going to have the 2 different sizes of stage 1 of mosquito bites available, and then I'm going to have stage 2 available, which is the actual raised bumps, and then I'm going to have like the full set where you can have everything, one big bundle. But I think people are going to want to sort of pick and choose these, and it's already happened, which is why I was already moulding these. I do need to carry on with the tilt order. I've already done the post office now, and I just trimmed the mould so that you could see this, but I shouldn't really take the time to stop and fill the Bondo moulds, but I just feel like I want to get this released, and if I keep putting it off, I won't get time over the weekend. So I think, because I'm also thinking, because everything's taking longer than I expected, like trimming the moulds took longer than I expected, and I haven't even started stickers yet, it might still be that I'm hard pushed getting till even finished to post tomorrow. I don't know. So then I'm like, if I'm not getting posted anyway, it doesn't matter if I take half an hour to fill these moulds. Also, I'm sitting here doing these and just talking about it, so I think I'm going to fill the moulds. I'll film that for you so you can see what it entails, and then just continue back on with packaging. Okay, so if you're a makeup artist, you know what I'm doing. If you've watched my how to fill and use Bondo molds video on here, you know what I'm doing. But basically, Bondo works a bit like the tattoo transfer in the way that you apply it. This will be full of the product, the Bondo. It will have dried, and when it comes time to apply it, you literally just push it on, peel it off, and you'll be left with the Bondo that was inside there. The difference is it's obviously a 3D effect, it's not a printed image, so I've got to fill it with the product. This is the product I'm using. It's getting harder and harder to get hold of, so I don't know. This is how much I've got left, and then I'll probably have to move on to a different Bondo. And then all the mods I've got to fill are these. Now I like to release it with a layer of Vaseline, so release does exactly what it sounds like. I'll put a bit of this on, it makes sure that the Bondo comes out easier when you apply it. But I also like a second layer of this stuff. I like that it gives a very light film over the top and something to sort of blend away when it's on skin. So I need a brush for that, I need a tissue, and most of the time I like to fill with a spatula, pack it in and scrape it off with an old business card and use a new clean side each time. But because this is so tiny, I think it's actually going to be hard to use a business card, so I think I'm just going to do it with a wider spatula. You just want to very gently do it so it's completely flat. So I'm going to go ahead and fill all these and then pop them to one side. Okay, let me get you back out. So these are what we have just filled. I'm going to turn it this way just so you can see. So this is on a plastic tray that goes in my dehydrator. Dehydrator are mostly used for like foods, for like drying out. Yeah, they're mostly used for like drying out food. So if you think of, you know, like orange segments dried for Christmas, or like sun-dried tomatoes, I don't know, things like that, you can dry out food. But yes, you can also use it to speed up the drying process of these. But can you see it's so warm? So the white, this is the side I did last, but can you see if I bring it a bit closer? This front side is already starting to cure. Can you see there's bits that are going more clear? Now this is in the shade Pinky, I believe, so they should have a slight pink tinge. Yeah, but they don't seem to be particularly pink, this batch. But yeah, if you compare to the very solid ones on this side to the ones where it's starting to go clear around the outside, some even in the middle, I won't actually need to use my dehydrator. that means, because they're going off so quickly. Hopefully, I'll have time to apply them either tomorrow or Saturday, but I'll make sure if I do, I get it in this video. So I'm going to pop them in the deodorant. I'll show you anyway, even though I'm not going to turn it on. Come with me. So it lives over here on these shelves. That's where the Bondo molds are. Printer, and then the dehydrator's here. Let's try and do this one-handed so it just slots in like that, and there's a bunch of different shelves, and then if I was using it, it'd be closed and turned on. Sorry, I may not have filmed that very well, but anyway, I'll be back with them when they are cured and we'll see how they go. Friday morning, just came into the studio. This is how I left it. Yeah, I'm going to label these to free up my desk, and then double check I have all the prosthetics. These are the prosthetics. They have been kind of balanced everywhere I can, in amongst the nonsense. That's all the molds labelled. I learnt my lesson not to rifle through the molds whilst talking, because in a previous vlog it was very loud. I've actually just finished labelling the prosthetics as well, which is amazing. It is 10 to 3. The latest I can leave here for post office usually is about 4 p.m. So I'm going to just box these up and head over there, and means Tilt goes out today. I'd kind of expected to send it on Monday, so I'm glad to just have that done and dusted before the weekend. It's actually Sunday now. For the first time, this is not going out a week later than the last vlog. I don't know when I'll finish it, but I just didn't feel like I had enough footage yet. So hopefully when I come to editing, I won't find I've now got too much, but didn't really feel like much happened. Obviously I've mainly been getting those orders out, and I did post the Tilt wholesale order. You saw me package that up. I then took that to the post office and did some other little bits and pieces. I wanted to apply those mosquito bites this weekend, as I told you, but it just sort of ran away with me yesterday. I got a bunch of other things done, house stuff done, food shop, things like that. And then I had my book club in the evening, which I'm sure I've shared a clip of before, but that's like an industry book club for anyone in film and TV, no matter what department. It's run by two friends of mine, Lily and Sophie, and if you want to check it out, I'll put their link in the description, but it's I Didn't Read the Script on Instagram. So if you love books and you're in film and TV, you should come and join us. We sort of do it every other month at the moment, but I don't know when the next one will be or what the next book will be. But yes, so I had that last night, and today I've got a friend's family party. So that is Sunday gone. It's like 11:30 in the morning. I just got ready and I'm just sort of doing some bits and pieces before I go. So I thought I'd quickly have this chat and update you on where in the week we are. So yes, I'll be starting the Titanic wholesale order tomorrow. I have heard back from them about which bits to swap in and out, and so that will no doubt take me a week or two. I don't think I have a huge amount of orders from the website or Etsy at the moment. I'm probably now going to jinx that, but I will try and do the mosquito bites so they still go in this video, and obviously I'd really like to release them. I also need to start sculpting some other pieces. Obviously there's my long list of things that I want to add to the shop, but there's some specific ones that I need to have done for certain times of the year for other reasons that I can't just go into. But yeah, that's going to be difficult because I won't be able to really show you them, I don't think. I don't know. There's a few different pieces and a few other things I need to also do, which I've just been pushing back, but the year's getting on, isn't it? I also need to finish my VAT return. I could start my tax return as well. I will try and find some things to film in this coming week that are slightly more interesting than me just talking to camera. I don't know why I like making these videos so much. There's no real goal. I have really enjoyed making these videos, and I think it's because obviously I work at home alone. I'm alone all the time. I go to the post office and then I see people, but I'm not getting to like socialise with my old work colleagues anymore. I think in a sad way, it's like I'm not as isolated it's like I'm talking to someone and not just myself in a camera. It gets me through the day, like it makes it a bit more interesting. It's not just me sitting in here in silence, listening to my audiobooks on my own, plodding through work. It's kind of like made it a bit more fun, isn't the right word because I do enjoy my work, but it's made it feel a bit social without being social. I don't know. So we'll keep doing these until they are not fun anymore, I guess. I love personally watching behind the scenes things. There's not many people, if any, from our kind of industry posting behind the scenes, or I'd be all over that. But I'll watch a lot of videos of people who have more, or like other small businesses, whether it's stationery or art or ceramics, things like that. And I just love to see people's behind the scenes, day to day, mundane business, chatting about things that are going right or wrong, frustrations with selling. I like seeing people setting up for their markets and things like that. But yeah, that's where I'm coming from. Anyway, I should probably get going. Hopefully I will see you tomorrow. Good morning, it's Monday. So far today I have overslept by about an hour. My alarm was going off for an hour with no sound. Then I put all my orders on whilst in a live chat to Amazon, trying to get a refund for something that just didn't turn up. I've scratched my eye. I don't know if there's any sign of it. That's probably gross, sorry. So my eye is like, every time I blink, it feels like there's something in it, like it's scratching, but I think it's just because I stabbed my eyeball this morning with something. But now I am going to get those moulds out of the dehydrator and just see if the Bondo has cured. It should do. It's been in there over the weekend. It's been there longer than I expected. They were mainly just in there because I didn't turn it on. They were just in there to keep them in a safe, dry and dust-free spot. But if they are done, I think I might apply at least one stage now while silicone is curing, and because it's quite quick to apply, and also because of the nature of bites, there's not much going on in the way of colour. They just need to be a bit pink. So if I can do one and then remove them, my skin can calm down and I can later do some more. It'd be really exciting if I can get those on the website today, but I've realised by saying that I'm jinxing it. That you will know now. Every time I say hopefully I'll get this done today, it doesn't happen. But if I get it done this week, that'd be great. What else have I got this week? I'm mainly just doing my wholesale order for Titanic. I've been turning down like commissions, like custom things, left, right, and centre because I'm just too busy. I can't. I could tell myself I could fit it in, but everything else could be pushed. I really need to finish my VAT return and get started on some of these other bits for later in the year. So yes, let's inspect those moulds. We're all good. Can you see? Let me try and put the light on it. Does that help? I might make it worse. Remember when I filled them, it was a white substance, and now it's kind of a clear, translucenty, pinky. The deeper ones have a bit of a pink tone, but the thinner ones not so much. The fact that it's gone translucent now means it's done. These should stay sticky on the back at all times, so they are ready to apply. However, I like to do a swipe of glue on them anyway, just to make sure they definitely do come out of their moulds. So I think I might start with the rounder ones, the stage 2 bites. These are the ones that need to apply first, so I'm going to put a tiny bit of glue on the back of each of them. Use a cotton bud. Try not to get completely in front of the camera for this. Okay, we'll just leave them to dry a little. I'm going to clean my arm where I want to stick them. So you can see this frilly stuff, that's that release I put in second after the cotton wool, and I like that because I feel like it kind of bridges from the Bondo to the skin a little bit. It might not do anything, but then all these fluffy bits I just remove with a bit of IPA. Can you see the slight rings around where I've pushed it on the mould hard? So I need to let it sort of cool down, or calm down rather, for those rings to go away. I'm going to seal it and paint it, and then I'll give it a sit before I take any photos. Go near the door. Maybe it's easier to see. That's just with that one colour. That's one of my favourite colours to use. It's in the Allied Effects Sideshow palette. Rogue palette, I think it's called. It's right there. I could check. And it's their true rose colour. It's so good for anything like sore or swollen. Let's have a look. This one, it looks so bright. A little scary in the pot, but you use these types of paints in really thin layers, like almost like watercolor, so it's a really diluted version. It's just exactly the right shade of pink. So let's see in comparison. Looking ever so red. I've been running about. I can assure you I have not. I've just got back from the post office. I'm going to stick the other mosquito bites on, get some photos, and then I think I'm going to upload them. I just thought I'd open a bunch of mail that's been sat in a pile in my house. Let me turn you around. Right, ignore the mess. Let's go through. If you're eagle-eyed, you've already spotted what's in the little box. I don't know if you actually could see that on camera. Doing it all upside down so I can hide the address labels. So they might open a bit weird. Nothing's exciting, by the way. This is all just stuff for work. Munbin labels. So yeah, I use a Munbin label printer. Is it Munbin? Is that how you pronounce it? I use one of those little label printers just for my postage labels and pretty much nothing else. So I noticed that's another one of them. Easy peasy. What's in this one? Okay. Oh, these. I'll open it first because of the sound of the rustling. It's going to compete. If you watched last week's vlog, I got 2 of these for silicone, and I bought 2 more for more silicone. I showed me labelling them up last time and filling them. You've got a little spout, quite cool. So yeah, I grabbed a couple more of them, and I'm gonna put my other silicone in there. Probably do this tomorrow, so I don't need to open the other one. Unfortunately, most of it's from Amazon, always, just because it's too convenient. They have made themselves too convenient with their next day deliveries. Okay, so in this one, I believe these are my pouches that I use for my moulds. Yeah, they're the smallest size. And I got 2 lots of that, so 200, because I've used a load with the wholesale orders. I needed to replenish. And then 2 boxes of these. These are my pins. I won't open, or maybe I'll open one. I may have shown these before on a video too, I can't remember. But it's just like 1-inch straight pins. They're like dressmakers pins, really. But yeah, they are just for pinning all my products to boards. So I think there's something like 3,500 in a box of these. Might say on this label. Does it say 3,500? 26 millimeters. I don't know if that's an inch. I think it's an inch. Maybe it's an inch and a half. But anyway, 2 boxes of them. So I have a lot of pins to keep me going. Let's put this back in here. And lastly, this is from Banana Print, and it is reprints of my leaflets. Again, because of all the wholesale, I'm running out pretty fast. So I think there was like maybe 1,500 more of these. Let's put them there. And then also more lot number stickers, which are the ones that go on the back of my wholesale orders. So I just fill them in myself. It's got my website on and the beginning of my lot number. So yeah, not very exciting, but I'm having real dilemmas about these ones. I feel like these ones are the size people are going to want, and these I don't know. Like when you look at pictures of the sort of initial bites, the irritation that comes up before they turn into like the round boils, you do get a mixture of sizes and you get them in like clusters. So these are quite handy to put around these. But I'm thinking, would people use these on their own? And would, if I combined it as a set, it makes the whole set more expensive. So will that put people off buying them at all? Would it be better that people can buy both? I mean, I was going to do a set of all 3 stages as one big one, which would obviously be much more expensive. I just don't know how to separate these because it depends how I'm going to apply them to myself as well. Like I can mix them all up and do these clusters if I'm going to sell them as a set, a single set. I don't know. Well, I'll figure that out and we'll see what happens. I've been using this wool to take the pictures. Thank you, bird. To take the pictures of my arms, making Sean do it, which is great when the sun is not out. But we've been battling, waiting for clouds to come so we can take the photos. But it just means I've got a blank surface in a bit of shade. It's a bit overcast today. So yeah, parakeets. So noisy. This is our outdoor toilet. Very old fashioned. I never use it. Morning. Good morning. It is Tuesday. Try that again. Had the washing machine on. My utilities are at the end of my workshop. It's Tuesday morning now. I'm having a non-post office day. I've just done my first run. Mostly it's Titanic pieces for that wholesale order, and I'm going to spend most of today editing this video and doing some VAT return and other admin-y bits. I did get the mosquito bite makeups completely finished, photographed, uploaded onto the website, so people can now buy those. So that's exciting that I finally have something new listed. It's been a long time since I've released anything new. I'm gonna end this vlog here and continue filming to roll into this next week's vlog. Now that I'm off schedule, I don't know when this will go out. I don't know that if I'll get the whole thing edited and uploaded today or that will go out tomorrow, and then if there'll be enough to resume posting on weekends. But hey, I never really planned to have any kind of schedule. I didn't think I'd even be getting one up a month. So yeah, we'll just be popping them up as and when. I've got a mechanic coming this afternoon to fix my aircon on the drive. I found someone that does it mobile, which is a big relief because I'm sure many people working from home are in a similar position. It's really hard to actually take your car out to the garage and then go pick it up and like stop working multiple times in the day. So this is excellent, and hopefully it's an easy fix and I have cool air again, because last week driving around with no aircon was horrendous, and it also meant I couldn't really take the dog in the car because too hot for her little body. Thank you so much if you're watching, and I will see you next time.